Let's do it again. Greetings, fellow shopkeeps. Welcome back to Recettear. Welcome back to Recettear. This is what I'm playing now. I'm not really playing any of the other games right now because, again, my brain is being divided. I'm working on another video game in the Godot engine, and it's a remake of another game from about 20 years ago. So I'm trying to pour all my brains into that to make sure that's, like, ready. Anyway, in the meantime, this is what I've actually been playing the most of, and I'm already through it. So at this point, we're just, like, grinding stuff out. But what I wanted to do... so we're going back to Louie because, as you might imagine, well, there's no way you'd know, but because of the way the looping system works, you wind up just being forced to use Louie a lot. Like, no matter what you do. He's wearing silver armor. I think I can do better than that. Like, you start with him. The very beginning of the game, you start with Louie, so no matter what you do, you wind up leveling Louie a pile, because it takes forever to get the other ones. Yeah, steel... Silver armor is plus 32. Ancient armor is plus 62. Rainbow mail, so I guess we're going ancient armor. Alright. But I kind of touched on this last episode. Since he doesn't have that in his equipment, in his inventory, I have to bring him one, and most importantly, he can lose it. Right? Like, if he gets killed, you only get to bring some of the items back. Obviously, he keeps all his possessions, but any of the junk you brought with him, he could theoretically lose. So, this right here, maybe not the end, now that I look at it and now I hear it has different music. I really don't know. I had the suspicion that this is actually the last dungeon. Or I guess the last floor of the last dungeon. Because, well, number one, it'll be 50, which is like a nice round number. It's also really hard. And by hard, I mean, like, you know, the game scale of hard. Like, it's not a very difficult game. Like, you can make it through most of the challenges, you know, like, you can probably just, like, watching these enemies figure out the best way to deal with them. And this is, you know, theoretically the best the game has to offer. Whoa. Alright, Louie's got a shield. That's another reason Louie is kind of better than the others. And I'm going to do some more recordings, because I keep playing the game, of each of the other units, you know, so you guys can see what they're up to, what they're capable of. Just because I like the game so much. But, what... Hang on a second. I just gotta deal with this situation here. Right, like even, I don't normally have this much time for like difficulty fighting. I normally one-shot enemies. Okay, for starters, I wanted to do this, and... I guess I have to fix it. I meant to do this. So that I could get a nice thumbnail of my man's Louie. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do that. Anyway, so that, right, that's what Louie can do. That's all his stuff. Anyway, Louie has the unique perk. That shield, that defense ability type, right? That makes it so that a lot of enemies that give everybody else trouble because they're constantly shooting, he can just walk into them, because the way his shield works is basically if he's not attacking, he defends any front-based attack. Any front-based projectile attack is not safe for melee attacks, but he's also one of the characters that gets to wear the strongest armors and all the strongest gears, so even if you do get wrecked, you know, like you probably got a pile of hit points or pile of defense. Oh, this is an enemy defense power doubled level. So, oh man, I've never seen you before. Some of these mobs are very new to me, anyway. As I mentioned in the previous recording, you really don't have to get too far into the game if you just want to accomplish the main goal of finishing the plot, you know, which is like saving the store. But if you look in the encyclopedia, nope. If you look in the encyclopedia, you can see I'm only at 52% completion rate. on all the items, and there's still some categories that are little question marks. Now, I know what they are because I've kind of looked it up or I figured it out from inference, but like this is for a character I don't have. I literally don't have the character yet. Now, that being said, the reason we're recording this, like the reason I just jumped right to the end of the game, is because I think, well, number one, I want to, finish this because I think that's how you get the last character. I think the last character, that's not true. There's at least 2 more. So I think you get 1 for beating this dungeon. Like, I think he's the boss of this dungeon. That's usually how you get them. They're bosses of the dungeons, and after you beat them, they join your club. So I'm assuming he's the last of them. But there's also a character that's a robot. And she's been hanging out for a very long time, like both, plot-wise. Okay, guys. All right. Leather glove, that's old. Okay. Okay. It also has a weird bug. Again, that's probably not a bug. It's because it was, I think it was originally supposed to be loaded off a CD with Redbook audio. The music dies, and it just doesn't come back until you go to a different place with different music, which is really tragic. But again, the gameplay itself, though, as you can see, is not only super solid, like it's not just solid, it's deep, like the units themselves, what you got going on, the way the levels get generated. I mean, like Binding of Isaac, again, like it's even Vampire Survivors, some other games have definitely, like, they scratched this itch. This isn't like a super unique concept, but combining it with the store element is really what interested me, and, what I discovered is that I want to make a game like this, like immediately after playing this kind of seriously, for more than a couple days, I was like, wow, but they should have done this, but they should have done that, which is like how my brain goes when I'm about to like get a game idea. And sure enough, I did, I would normally farm these guys, but honestly, when the enemy power is doubled, like their defense powers, I just flee, I just end the level. It takes so much longer to kill them, and you already have to farm. Like, you have to farm so much for anything. I don't know if you paid any attention when I was in the fusion menu in the last video, but there are so many items that I don't even have the items to, make them yet. Like, I haven't even, like, successfully gotten the drops from so many mobs. Okay. I don't see a place on the map for... Thanks for the watermelon. For the... There it is. Maybe. There's two spots. So, I hemmed and hawed. I was like, well, what am I going to do that's not just, like, ripping in a... Honestly, like, the first thing I was like, well... Let's just do a sequel to Recettear, right? Like, I'm already doing a remake, which is like, kind of an homage type of thing. Why don't we just do a direct homage for this? And I was like, well, I don't know what the fan base... Well, I guess I should look, because honestly, a lot of the reasons that the other game I'm remaking came about was because I was doing some Googling, and it was like, oh my god, all the sprites from this game exist and are pretty easily accessible to me. Like, I could get them, I could use them, I could play with them. I wouldn't have to rip them out of a bunch of, like, crappy screenshots or, like, freeze frame a bunch of YouTube videos or download an emulator and do a bunch of sprite ripping myself. Like, they're just right here. I can get started. So if that's the kind of thing that's going on with this game, like someone's already ripped all the adventures and everything, then, like, maybe that wouldn't be the final graphic set that I use, because that seems a little defense double powered for everybody. I said, these guys are, like, super fast and super annoying, so, if I was doing other levels, if I was just, like, screwing around, because you saw when I was running around with, Caillou, I think that's his name, the mage kid, you just run through the rooms and you kill them, like, one shot or whatever, so you can hunt them all down if you really want to, but, like, when the defense power is doubled like this, and you're on a hard level like this, where, like, the traps get really real and you can actually do some damage, I mean, number one, okay. Right. I gotta run with Louie because he's so much more powerful than the other guy. Like, no one else would even be able to handle it in here, because I don't think anyone else has bought the right armor. I don't think anyone else is wearing the right armor, and I don't feel like taking them down here and running the risk of losing it. Yep, broken ring. Need all the broken rings. Right, like the +4 after the broken ring. Like every item you can fuse, even like things that aren't equipped, like foods and stuff. You can make better variants if you just like make sure you have the good stuff. You know, when you fuse it. Now that the system sucks to do it, it's really hard to like make it all work because it's an ancient game that's designed to work on 4 buttons. But like with a mouse and keyboard, man, like you could do some magic. Heck, even with a PlayStation controller with like 6 to 8 buttons on it, maybe all the way up to 13 if you go, you know, bananas. The things you could do in this environment. Anyway, you know, what I kind of do when I design games is I think of like old games, you know, like old games that, ooh, that's new, or maybe not new. Right, so let me see if I can block that. I can, right. See, that's what I mean, right? So because he's got that natural auto guard, even if I'm sloppy, sometimes I get away from with defending myself from something. Ugh. Right. The only thing you just got to be careful about swinging, but you know. Oh, there is a third. There are 3 of you. Video game count. See how long this is taking. This is exhausting. And I got nothing. Right? Like I did all that grinding, and I got nothing. I mean, I got experience, and that's nice or whatever. But like again. Well, it should be in the status menu. Let's see. Oh, I've only had 8 adventures on this, right? Because I've been using everybody else. And again, when the game loops, when the game wraps around because you failed, you have to go back to the first dungeon, and the only adventure you can use is him. So then you get stuck using him, and then it's a couple of days of gameplay. Again, you don't have to go to the dungeons, but I do because that's the kind of gamer I am. Of just being stuck using him before the game is like, oh, okay, somebody else came by the store and you can do stuff. And then even after you unlock that character, you know, they're like, you gotta talk with them and like level them up and like have a couple of cinema scenes happen before they finally say, oh, and here's the way to the second dungeon. And the second dungeon is, you know, about where things get interesting. The first dungeon is just like, you know, are you familiar with how these games work? The second dungeon's the first one that has good loot, that has some real enemies, that has some bosses that are interesting, and it's like 6 or 5, maybe 5 floors deep, whereas the first one is like 3, or I should say 5 sections, which basically, like each section has its own boss at the conclusion of it, and is comprised of 5 floors of its own. So, you know, the reboot with just loot. Oh, this one's not. This is, you see, like the rocks actually got him that time without the defense buff. Alright, let's see how much kids there ain't. Just cleaving through them. I'll take some takoyaki. got a lucky save. Leave me alone. Killed him in 1 hit. I mean, I'm still not going to do it because I'm like recording here, you know, I'm trying to like make good time or whatever, but I can see, you know, like part of me doing this actual exercise and like recording it was like identifying if I'm ready to farm this level, because, you know, if Louie can do it, then I can farm it, right? Like, I can just send him down here over and over and over again. But if even Louie gets his back blown out descending in a level, then we're not ready. And maybe no one else ever will be, because he's also like just like a really, like he's just a great unit compared to some of the other ones. The shield ability makes him top notch. His sword swing, the arc is really nice because some of the other ones have really like linear attack range. It's fast, you know, you saw how terribly slow the mage kid's attack was. You know, he's got a paltry amount of SP, but like look, he's only got 2 abilities down there. Like, what do I want SP for? You know, there's no style here. He can't dash. He can't do any of the cute tricks some of the other characters can like parry or like do combos or whatever with their attacks. He doesn't have any of that, so he's not super interesting. But if your goal is just getting through the dungeon and not getting killed, Louie's your man. Plus, again, he takes all the basics. So like everything you're probably already buying a pile of because they have great stats or because they're very valuable to sell. John the Sweet Quail. It would be crazy if I wasn't recording the audio on this. But I see the bar moving. I nailed it. I mean, the music has stopped, but it's fine. Anyway. So yeah, you gotta do 5 quick ones. 4 quick ones. And then the 5th will be the boss. Can you stop stalking me, sir? Preach. So, after I finish the remake, you know, the game I'm making, you know, right now in my... the goal will be to make a Recettear-like. But I've already had one key difference that I wanted to change. It was, you know, as always, I was watching another YouTuber play a game, Mark. He played some blacksmithing games. And, you know, this game has the fusion system that allows you to kind of take items and turn them into more items. But it's really just like a list, you know? And again, I'm at the point of the game where it's just like, keep grinding until you have more honey, you know? Like, I need 6 honey to make a thing. And the process of acquiring that honey isn't interesting, and even once I got the honey, it's just a matter of like, now you got the honey, you can make the thing. But when I watched Mark play those blacksmithing games, I mean, you know, there's an opportunity there for some enticing gameplay because the prospect of actually blacksmithing a weapon provides in and itself a myriad of the facets that can be turned into game design, right? So you could, well, I mean, you know, just the whole process from start to finish, you know, there's so many simulator games out there now. And you never know if they're good or not because certainly everybody's trying it. But the thing about them is that they expose that in the minutia of day-to-day life, there are so many steps and, like, you know, just like little things you do just in every that you could turn into gameplay tasks that you could turn into. Okay, so here, yeah, this might be it. Let me see if I can hide me. So, you've reached the top at last. Griff, what's going on here? What are you doing? The monster you see here has been sealed in this place for ages. No, calling it a monster is inaccurate. Better to call what slumbers here by its proper title, an archdevil. An archdevil? For ages he has slept, and now the time has come for him to awaken. If something like that is loosed upon the world, upon Pensy, above all else, what the race of demons needs now is power. So many of us hide and lock ourselves away like cowards and sheep. We need the power to challenge our enemies and revive the warrior spirit of our people. We can survive no other way. And if no one else will bring forth such power, then I shall. No way. Do you understand now? To humanity, demonkind is nothing more than a source of fear. A foe to conquer, and demonkind is all too happy to reciprocate. Our future is naught but mountains of skulls, with rivers of blood running between them. This is the destiny of our two kinds, as it always has been. Man will fight demon, and demon will fight man, until one ceases to exist. There is no other way. There can be no other way. Shut up, this is dumb. What? Griff, you're trying to become some sort of Lord of Darkness, right? Lead demonkind to new age of strife and stuff? What? Well, that's the general idea, yes. A Lord of Darkness in this day and age. Please tell me you're not actually serious. What? Is there something wrong with being a Lord of Darkness? Obvious objections aside, that is. Well, it's good to have a big dream and aim high, and conquering the world and covering it in darkness and the lack of candy is definitely a big dream. But still, a darkly handsome demonic overlord who wants to use an ancient sealed evil to achieve his ends? Nowadays? Are you serious? People just laugh at you. I'm kind of embarrassed just listening to this. Oh yeah, the everybody kills everybody forever stuff is dumb too. But the Lord of Darkness stuff is just... man! That's what I mean about the writing. Well, having it put that like that is certainly... Oh, sorry, I got a little carried away. It matters not. Either way, soon I'll have the power of a Lord of Darkness. Opinion be damned. The Archdevil is only half awake, but so long as I have his arm... Come, face me! Griff, you remember what you said when we last met, right? When next we meet, if you can still think of me as a customer. My opinion of you hasn't changed at all, you know. Please, when this is all over, come by the shop and buy something. I see. I did swear to, didn't I? Well then, see if you can stop me. He's attacking. Defend yourselves. Griffin, the Archdevil's on. Oh, God. Yeah, I know. He's giving me the business. Alright. I imagine, right. This guy helped now. I forgot his attacks. Oh, goodness. I gotta stay over there where that light thing is, because that's not... Oh, 59. Alright, well, we're just gonna have to hit him a lot then, because his damage is off the charts. 24... This watermelon ought to bring me way back, right? Yeah, 60. Ooh, all the way down? Okay, help me out. Come here, Griff. Alright, yeah, he hits super hard. It's fine, that's why I brought all this food. Shoot! I don't know what that is. That's new. Did he kill me? I don't think he killed me. No. You came close. Yeah, came close! Alright, well now I got a problem. How fun! Yeah, oh, the tiny bats, okay. Am I dead? Nope, I won. Woo! Alright, I imagine we're gonna do a bunch of talking now. Wog! Griff. Hoo-wah! No, run, quickly, but go! But! The Archdevil's going berserk. At this rate, I won't be able to control him at all. If you want to live, flee now! You have to come with us, Griff. You are a unique girl, Recette Lemongrass. Forgive me, but I must stay. I'm going to reseal everything left here. What? Don't misunderstand me. I simply have no use for a power I can't control. That's all. I still intend to bring power to demonkind. Just not this way. Griff. You fairy, no, Tear. I leave the rest in your hands. Do you understand? I do. Wait, Griff! Now hurry! Go! Wait! Remember you promised you'd come to the store! Don't forget! Come, Recette! We must hurry! But he dropped something! Arrgh! Griff. Hey, Tear, do you think I had the right to oppose what Griff was doing? You were rather blunt with him. I knew it. However, I do not believe he was seriously attempting to kill us at any point. He would have been far more brutal if he truly wanted us dead, and yet, he was not. I cannot help but think that he wanted us to stop him on some level. Tear. Let's go back to the store, okay? All we can do now is work as hard as we can. Indeed, let us go home. Am I gonna get my drop? Nope. They just jacked me at my drop. Just dragged me. That's unfortunate. That's fine. Alright. So. But as I, so that's it, right? Like those events happen in the dungeon, blah, 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 and then just go right back to run the store. The game's still run the store. And, during the main narrative, you could go through all that and then fail. And then have to go through it all over again the next time. But it's fine. And there's that hood outfit for 15k, sold it for 22, so that's like a 7k markup. So you know what I'm saying? Like you sell two of them, you sell two of them, you make one back in profit. And that's if you don't successfully fleece somebody, but you can't do that until you can finally got like 14k or whatever lying around your inventory. But we're just gonna go ahead and do this. And maybe this will be the last one. I thought I was going to run through the other characters. Maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. You guys shout out in the comments. If you guys want to see more Recettear, if you want to see more of this game, if you want to see more of the adventures, let me know. Because as you can see, I've got plenty more grinding to do, plenty more things to unlock, plenty more things to buy, so I'm not going to be stopping anytime soon. In my personal life, the question is just going to be if I do it on the channel or if I do it, you know, entirely of my own volition. Yeah, it's also kind of tricky because it says you don't have one once you're using it. So, like, if you have it placed out, or if you're, like, using the tables, it doesn't think you have the tables, which can make it hard to read some of these things that are like, you only have 0, even though you know you have 1. But the only new thing I got was another ghost here, so yeah, I guess never mind. Alright, so we are just going to go ahead and run the store one final time. And then flippity-floppity-floop our audience. I don't know what we're going to play tomorrow, because again, we're on the deck now, because the PlayStation's in the other room. Yeah, they didn't clean me out of food for once. I have to run the store, you know, have to. I run the store once a day, because the characters order things, and if the store is not open when they come in for the order, you know, they get... You know, I don't know if it has any negative consequences, but it's just an opportunity to make more money, and during the course of the regular game, you really get it beaten into your head that, like, you can't leave any money on the table, but once you get the game going, it's not such a big deal. Yeah, so see, it's the robot. She comes in, she buys stuff, she sells stuff. She's not really picky about the prices, but I haven't figured out how to actually unlock her to help me. Yes, sir. Let's yeah. I too would call that a good deal. Merchant level, I'm level 40. There's 10 more to go. You get your merchant experience by obviously running the store. You don't get it by doing the dungeon stuff, which is kind of why you gotta have a healthy balance of both. Because you have to have the merchant level to unlock actual abilities. Not abilities, but like, I guess so, because that's how you unlock all the items. See, people want something metal. So you gotta look in your inventory and be like, oh, what's metal? Anyway, you eventually learn like what things count as just metal. And if you're lucky, you can maybe get a little bit of profit out of them. Yeah! That's what I'm saying. You bump the price up a little bit, you may be even able to buy 2 of them next time around. More money, more money, more money. You want a scarf? This cat comes in and buys a scarf like every couple of days. Legendary scarf. You got me, dog? Woohoo! I don't really need money, but, you know, the endorphin hit is nice. I'm here for my books. See, this is an order. He ordered 2 books. Depending on who they are, you can usually just, like, give them whatever, and they will pay the price, but... every now and again, you'll talk to somebody who's like, oh man, I can't afford that crap. Please? Yes! Ching! I need 2 accessories. Can I pick them up in 3 days? Yeah, buddy. Elon. Do you have the treasures I asked for? I do have the treasures you asked for, sir. We have so many treasures here at Recettear for people to buy. And today, it looks like you will be copping Superfisher DX. And they are white, so they should sell at the default price. Boom! Thank you so much. Booyah. 263 picks. That's what's up. Exceeded expectations. I also think it might have something to do with, like, level. Like, the higher your level is, the easier they are about selling stuff to you. But either way, This has been another fantastic episode of Recettear. If you want more Recettear, drop me a comment, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff on the screen, wherever. And flippity floppity floop.